My name is Kevin. It really started out with me getting arrested. Spent the night in jail, lost my job. I was also getting a divorce. Spent some time being homeless for a few years. Towards the end of it, I guess, worked myself up into a van that wasn't even running. And I kind of wanted my own personal space. So I kind of overpaid for it, knowing that it wasn't running, just so I could just have a place to sleep. Turns out I'm epileptic anyway, so I might not even be able to drive. So it's like almost kind of like time traveling, because you just you go out in like time A and just wake up in time B, and you don't know like how much time has really passed. The weather here was getting pretty bad. Facing judgment from people is probably one of the toughest. Or like trying to find a job. It's kind of a vicious cycle, because you go in and try to find a job and they tell you they can't hire anybody off the street. But then at the same time, you know, you're on the street and people will come up to you and tell you to get a job. It's like, you know, how are you supposed to break that loop? You know, especially if you have like tattoos, or if you haven't showered in a while because you don't have access to it, then, you know, people just automatically assume that you're tied with drugs or that you're an addict, and they just have an overbearing assumption about who you are. I was just brainstorming how to get out of the situation that I was in. Pretty much just Googled where the closest facilities were, and SSVF was one of the places that popped up. It took me a while to actually get set up through everything, because I had a seizure on the day that I had my first appointment, so I missed that appointment. But I was able to actually get it connected and set everything up and get the paperwork done and follow through on everything else. They were really, really helpful, really kind. Kept in mind that, you know, I was a person, you know, and that, you know, sometimes, you know, life just kind of hits you hard. Once I got out of jail and all that, in my hometown, there's like a larger Goodwill. I didn't think about that it was gonna be like that. But, you know, 5 years later, that I'd be, you know, having the same company help me. My only goal was to get out of the cold. I just wanted somewhere to, you know, warm to sleep, because that -8 really sucked. I mean, luckily enough, I had a couple of comforters, and I've had training in the military for cold weather, so, you know, there's a couple of tricks that I knew to stay warm. I've been drawing since I was a kid, and I've always wanted to be like a comic book artist. Even when I was living in the van, like I would have my colored pencil box kind of like stacked in one corner, and then I'd have my sketchbooks, but they'd be in a different section, and then I'd just be like drawing in there. I'm not in the van anymore, I mean, so that's number one. I'm not cold. I can actually cook my own food. I can draw and I can paint. I'm at liberty to work on my project and build up my studio to how I see fit. Like, I'm human again, so that's good. I don't know if it really falls underneath the device, but I would just say that there's no need to really feel shame about it. Life hits people really hard sometimes, and, you know, if you're gonna get yourself back up, you know, sometimes you need the help. You know, it's the same thing as, you know, going out and, you know, looking for therapy, and checking on yourself with that mental health. You need a team sometimes. You know, you can't do everything by yourself. So if you need a team to help lift you up, you know, I think Goodwill is a good spotter to do that.